Hi, boys and girls. Today we are going to read two stories. The first one is called Sea Story, which is a lyrical poem, and the second one is called Dive, which is an expository text. So let's get started. Sea Story by Nancy. I can't see her name, sorry. Nancy Viau, illustrated by Susan Swan. And then Dive, same author and illustrator. Sea Story by Nancy Viau, illustrated by Susan Swan. Dancing fins flutter through water, quiet and deep. Pinching claws edge along ridges, rocky and steep. Spiny arms shuffle by cave walls, murky and gray. Silent sea creatures tell stories in an ocean ballet. Wow, that was really quick. Okay. Well, like I said, it is a poem. It's a lyrical poem. So let me read that again. And this time you guys can actually look more at the picture. Dancing fins flutter through water, quiet and deep. Pinching claws edge along ridges, rocky and steep. Spiny arms shuffle by cave walls, murky and gray. Silent sea creatures tell stories in an ocean ballet. So we can tell it's a poem by the way some of the words rhyme. How it's lyrical means you could hear how it's kind of a sing-songy way the way the words are written and the way I read it. And again, it's just describing something you would see and the creatures you would see moving along and things you would see under the ocean, correct? Okay, let's read the second one. This definitely seems like an informational nonfiction. The word they use here is expository. We don't use that word too often. We usually say informational or nonfiction. So this one is called Dive. Fish can swim underwater, see underwater, even breathe underwater. With a snorkel or scuba gear, so can you. Swimmers who snorkel can keep their faces underwater for as long as they like, exploring vivid coral reefs and other sights just below the water's surface. Even in shallow water, you'll see all sorts of amazing fish. Hey, wait, do you guys remember that word? Shallow? Let's continue. When you snorkel, you need to wear a mask that keeps water out of your eyes so you can see clearly. You also need a snorkel tube. One end of the tube fits into your mouth, and the other sticks out of the water so you can breathe. When you are snorkeling, you also wear wide fins to help make swimming easier. Want to explore deeper waters? Scuba divers strap a tank of air to their backs. These tanks come in different sizes. A tube carries air from the tank to your mouth. A gauge shows how much air is left in the tank. The tank has a second tube just in case the first one breaks. Scuba divers can dive and swim for an hour or more without coming up to breathe. Deep water can be very cold. A wetsuit keeps divers warm and protects their skin from scrapes and bumps. Are you ready to explore ocean life up close? Grab your equipment and dive right in. So for this reading, we heard two different ones. First, we heard a poem called Sea Story, And then we heard our informational text called Dive. We definitely learned a lot of things hearing those two stories. Right now, I'd like to review with you your 5 vocabulary words for this week, which you might have heard in one and or both of the stories. The first word is murky. Can everyone say murky? Something that is murky is dark and hard to see through. Adjacent. Can everyone say adjacent? If two things are adjacent, they are right next to each other. Vivid. Can everyone say vivid? Something that is vivid is very bright and colorful. Adventure. Everyone say adventure. An adventure is an exciting trip that you take to an interesting new place. And our last word for this week is submerged. Can everyone say submerged? If something is submerged, it is completely underwater. So let's review the words again. Repeat after me. Murky, adjacent, vivid, adventure, submerged. Now that you have heard the vocabulary words, and I told you one time what those vocabulary words mean, I suggest you listen to the story one more time and the poem and see if you could find those vocabulary words within the story, because now that you know what they mean, it'll definitely help with your comprehension. Talk to you next time. Bye, boys and girls.